folks, welcome back to Timberpunk. And last time was a short video. If you didn't watch it, we were predominantly focused on getting over here and starting to prep this area to make use of the aquifers. And as I said in the last video, and as I have done, I have just continued that prep work, and we're pretty well placed now to carry on these. There's a bit of work set up over here for the bots to carry on with. Just noticed I missed that. I've also done a little bit of work over here, so filling this in a little bit just so it's less excessively deep, and starting to get some irrigation barriers in so that we can reduce the contamination over here. So the goal for today, or the plan for today, is to work on getting these linked up to power and to some sort of aqueduct to feed the water over into the main reservoir. That's the plan. The other thing that I wanted to do is to start getting to this, just to clear it off, make it look a bit nicer. So we are going to put a ladder there, that to be demolished. Start clearing all of the thorns and the rubbish and that. And I also thought we could plant some more trees over here. So we are going to put in some dynamite and eventually some irrigation, because I'm kind of liking all of the green land and stuff. The other thing, we are close to 250,000 science, which will let us double a water source. Now, I've done a quick look around with DevTools on, and most of these aquifers, and this is probably going to backfire on me, are pretty small. So they're all around 0.2. I've picked the right one. This guy is strength 1. So this is the guy that eventually we are going to look to double the strength of, because it'll give us a strength 2 water source. So my plan is to actually, in doing a little bit of what I've forgotten his name now, because I'm awful with names. You may remember the other YouTuber that started on Timberpunk about the same time as I did. Apologies if you're still watching. I am awful with names. Shadow's Blight, that's the one. Well remembered. Thank you for reminding me, everyone. So he did something slightly similar in that he created some sort of aqueduct system as well. So that's what we're aiming to do with this. I've got some scrap metal folks as well, ripping out the scrap over here. So what we need to do is look to link these three up, link this one up, and then head over here. So probably feels like it makes sense to me to join these two, bring this over, join this one in, and if we're going to seal it, we can probably use something quite narrow, I think. So probably like a 1x2 is probably enough. Something like that. We do have now the watertight power shaft block as well, so we can use that to bring power in. So that's what I'm going to do. So I think we do something like this all the way over here, and we're going to end up with 2.6 flow, which should fit through this, I think, under pressure. Should be fine, I hope. We can always make it thicker if we need to. I'm sure some of you know the limit of what we can flow through a pipe, and are probably typing it in the chat, in the comments as I talk. So we need to look at sealing these in. So we are going to need to be building boxes around things again, and they probably need to be longer to get over that. See, I wonder if we can do a more three-dimensional box. Pause for a second. So these, this, wondering is, can I? No, okay. So this one specifically needs to be that high. I wonder if, I guess you also need to be that high, but I suspect you probably be way lower because you just need to cover up that. So then we could come around. Do I close? No, because we've got that. That's still going to be open. So yeah, we'll do that. That. I mean, that could be smaller, but for the sake of neatness, we'll do it like that. I'm going to do that just because I kind of like it. There, 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 there. Neighbours being shouty again. Something like that. Is it perfect? No. Will it work? Yes. And then we'll bring that out in some form of tunnel with the explosives. We will need some form of access onto the top of it. So let's enable that like that. Let's come over here and do something similar. I'm going to move this path. I'm not sure if that path is actually needed still, but I'll keep it. That path can stay. So let's delete that. Connect that to there. Yep. All right. Be like that. Then we grab some 4s. Put you over there. Put you there. And I could just copy that, couldn't I, as a complete thing? But I can't be bothered because it's only for one more. So let's just hand build it, I guess. Actually, they're not symmetrical, so that wouldn't work. You shouldn't be there. You can be built up to there. You can be built up to there. You get built up to there. And there. I don't really do it like that. You don't necessarily need to be there. Yeah, we can do that, can't we? Awesome. Permeable floors. In this case, we'll put you there. That's that one, and this one's going to be a bit different, so we'll just sit on that for a moment. And you are going to need, so let's go to triple speed so things actually happen. You are going to need some ladders. And I did put in a log storage there, but it's not very full, so but that's fine. There's a blockage there that needs to be demolished so that they can replace it with dirt. And things are all a little bit slow and clunky. The stave's coming to an end. Alright, that's in. So if we can eventually get rid of that, we can then close that off and seal that up, and that should then have most of that closed off, particularly if we went around the back there. And let's do that. There, 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 there. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. That. Please. No, no. Get rid of you there. And we're going to go down to 2 times speed because the game is really not happy. Right. That will help. I'm going to get rid of that just because. And let's go have a look over here. You can't believe you did actually remember to make that awful joke. Platforms. Gosh. We will use that depth gauge, wood, forester, fluid dump, not deep mechanical pump. You are going to get not that, but one of those, and you will be forest erig. Hoping that's unique. Be create rule if signal forest erig is greater than 0.6. Pause, save, duplicate, invert, script. 0.4, save and close. We are going to want some lumberjacks. Let's do 3. All set to be cut, so let's just tell them to plant stuff once they can. Or that, should just do a V and that, so that grabs the rules as well. Awesome. Plant trees. Let's do something like that. You will be a piece of path and get rid of you. Cool. Well, that should sort that out. Let's come back over here. Did I say I brought power over? I don't remember if I did. I have. I'm going to replace those, and I'm going to put in tunnels, because potentially we're going to want tunnels there anyway. So, because we want this to be a sealed system, and that means the paths can remain. Yep. Eventually, we're going to want to. Are going to need to think about power as well. So let's do that. Let's get some more path going on. You to there. You to there. I don't know why I deleted that, because we are going to need power dropping into each of those. Actually, let's think about that. Because probably we want to delete that. Let's put that there, and then we can bring power. Actually, can I bring power in? That level I can. So that, and then just a power shaft there. Then levies. Yep, that works. Sorry, dog is being annoying. So put you there in preparation. Probably what we want to do is delete that, and we'll take power out of the side of there. So let's go power, power, power. And let's go back to double speed. I don't think we can afford to run at more than double speed now, unfortunately, which is going to limit what we achieve. Going to go. So I'm going to go deprioritize all of this, but they seem to have gone reasonably well with it. Anyway, let's do that. because I'd like them to get this stuff done first. So I guess with that knowledge, we can... No, we want that to be a thing. We want that to be a thing. We don't want that to be a thing because we want water to flow through there. So we are going to want a power connection there, probably. We are going to want to also come over here. Let's do that, and now would be a good time to do that because the water level is low. So I'm going to prioritize those. We want to put tunnels here if we want to preserve the path. Let's do that. That's all in, so we can detonate all of that. Got our missing piece of dirt there. Make that low priority. Turn that off. To detonate those, we are going to put some throttling valves there to control the... essentially stop water flowing out when it starts to refill. You thought he pressed... Can you believe he pressed the wrong button? Can you believe he got the words wrong? Yes, yes you can. That there, we're going to want to put some dirt in there, so we're going to want some access to this. Let's use a curvy staircase. We've not used one of those in a while. Unnecessary curvy staircase. That can be detonated. That can be detonated. Stuff, and that can be detonated. Think about how we cover this all in. So, I guess if we go across there, do that seals that one. We go across there. That seals that in. And then we're going to want to do something like that, and then we need to build the containment. What did we do here, actually? That. That. I think we can. Think about how we close everything in. I think this has connections on all sides, but we need to close the back in as well, so maybe we just move that there. making this a bit bigger anyway. Try to make it as small as possible. Something like that. Oh, we need to close in the sides, don't we? There. Do that. This might not end up being super efficient. I've just kind of gone for something that looks a bit different, I guess. There. There. It's kind of ugly, but anyway. Plan your builds, folks. Plan your builds. Just to make it look a little bit neater, I'm going to do that. So there's a little bit of symmetry to it. There's really not, is there? No. What might make sense actually is to use the powered levies along there and put a power connection in there. Actually, we could run back across there. Let's just quickly grab automation to do that. Do that. Yep. That. Be able to demolish. Let's give them access down there. Demolish all of those. Do need to hook up to this. We could do that underground. So fine. Just think about how we're going to get everything else done first. Like that. You need impermeable floors, and I hope that's less than 6 across there. Because it'll be simpler. You are going to need some form of height gaining thing. Hopefully you can build all of that from there then. Get rid of you. Get rid of you. And get rid of that path. I think I can. That up. Gets a bunch of it connected. Probably need a path to do some of that. It's a bit keen on my deleting of those as well. Those, excellent. Yes, I can test this with, if I grab a 6 and go there. Yeah, cool. should be able to hook that up. So next job is to start closing this stuff up. That heat power. Tunneling. Vertical power shaft tunnel. Vertical power shaft tunnel. Yep, that should be okay. You can just run that along there. There. Yes, it'll look a bit ugly, but it'll do a job. That will hook all those three up. And I think what we do is come across here. Like that. Like that. Like that. Vertical power shaft tunnel. Actually, we probably don't want to do that. Get rid of you. Tunneling. Put that there. And we can make that path. Put that up like that. Yeah. Yeah. 5, 5. Levies. Levies. Permeable floors. Come on. Floors. Let's get a bit of path. Run that through there. Delete it. Some power. There. That should all be fine. Floor. Permeable floors. Platforms. Platforms. Yeah, we're going to need to close you in, aren't we? So, actually, probably what we want is one of those. We need to come back further on that. Let's do that first. Do actually need power. Power. I guess that hooked up. Get rid of that bit of path. So those we could do with that and that, and then I think we do platforms all the way to there. Platforms away from there. Levies all the way around there. Like that. Levies like that. A little bit like the last one that we built. Like that. And then, excuse me, impermeable floor on the top. I really should have got a drink before I started doing this. But anyway. That there. seriously have never known anyone as loud as my neighbour. Not been as bad this weekend, but even just talking, they are so loud. Well, I don't think they ever talk. They always seem to shout. So, right. Let's just do the stairs last. That. So we just need to get that built now. We have power going to all of those. I think we can just check the aquifers. Those aquifers are all on the grid. Awesome. This one is not yet because it still has work to be done. But we are getting there. Let's go over here. They've got a bunch of trees planted, which is cool. Also, it's going to take off them to grow, but more trees is more gooder, folks. That's been cleared off now. I'm going to leave it because it looks kind of cool. I was thinking again, we could put a... that one needs power. We could put one of those guys up there just for looking cool, I guess. You know? Map is starting to look very green. This is not staying very full, but hopefully that will get better with a lot more water. But we'll see. We'll see. But that's now got power to it. Just need to get all of that built. And through the magic of editing, we are done with 1 day. Well, pretty much done with 1 day to go. So I've also, before one of you points out, adjusted the flow limit of these to be unlimited. And the last thing we do, because we now have 254,000 science, is we're going to go into dev mode. We're going to get down to this aquifer, and we're going to adjust the strength to be 2. So that is going to give us a lot more potential water supply. It's got one more impermeable floor to build. The question is going to be whether everything can hold up to supplying that much. I'll reach those. I don't think they can. If we do that, they probably can. If I do that, they will be able to. Cool. Yeah, the question is whether now the system can keep up with this much extra flow through all of the different bits to get the water to here. If not, we'll have to adjust. And that's fine. We can do that. If we manage to hit the 500k science mark, we'll double another water source. There are some half-strength ones which we could look at doubling, or I'll have a look around and see if we can find another strong water source. I mean, I think technically we waste a lot of water from here, so we could look at improving our utilization of this, because I think ultimately this ends up running off the map, which is not good. But let's have a look at how this all behaves. As it should start generating water. And it should be quite a lot of water. So just keep an eye on things for a moment. And yeah. speed 2 again. I had it on speed 3 whilst you weren't watching. I didn't have to worry about lag. So flowing out into here just fine. Has this kept change that I made, I guess, is the question. It's taking a while to ramp up though, so I mean that's just a feature of the game, so I guess we'll keep an eye on that. And dev controls off so I don't make any mistakes, but should be a nice extra amount of water flowing in now. I mean, it's probably almost the equivalent of what's coming into here anyway, so kind of cool. So yeah, that I think is going to be it for today, folks. I know it's another relatively short one. We are at the point where things are going to be a bit like that as projects are somewhat sporadic. I don't know. I wonder if we should be making use of the fact that we're now, I guess we're only going to be irrigating this during temperate, which is relatively short. I was going to say, should we make use of this, but realistically it's not going to be green that much, so maybe not. What I want to look at is I want to continue clearing this, get to this, not that we really need it. I think we should see if we can make use of the ridiculous bad water flow we have here. Again, we don't need more power, but it might be fun. And there are some objectives I would like to try and knock out for the Iron Teeth. So, and particularly, I need to play for 5 more cycles because there's a 50 cycle thing. Are we up to full strength now? Kind of annoying that it does that when I go into dev controls. Cool. So up to full strength, and it does appear to be handling it just fine. So that's good. How are we looking in the reservoir? Pretty good. Pretty good. We are day 2 and we're already... Are we flowing water out of here yet? We're not, but we're close. So that's cool. In fact, we are about to start. So that's good. So next time we'll keep an eye on whether we can handle that. So there are a bunch of objectives that I want to work on knocking out. Along with just more, I think we can make this bit of the map look a bit nicer. So, and hopefully we can now fill the Dragon Sea. So, and if not, we need to keep working on that. I think these are really weak sources from what I remember. Yeah, 0.2. So, what about this guy? Is this guy a decent source? That'd be kind of handy. I mean, 8, yeah. So if we could double this one up, that would be good. Another thing I've done is I've put a channel in here and a dam. So that if this fills up and we're pumping water in here, it starts going out this way. What's this set to? 0.5. We probably want this to actually be able to overflow this. I'm going to adjust that so that actually it will keep going and put water in here. But if we doubled this one up, this would be quite good. So we should have a look at that if we can get... I might put more science generation in if we're still struggling. But we are now flowing water. Awesome stuff. Is it keeping up is the next question. Guess we'll see. Anyway, that's it for now, folks. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members. As always, dogs barking, not mine, and comments, questions, suggestions, always welcome.